Hello, everyone. Yeah, welcome to a new year in a new room. A guy in this room is back from the new year, 2023. We're gonna get as real as we can be in 2023. We're gonna do everything we can to just trend and go viral again. No, it didn't go viral. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I mean, guess I have to talk about something, don't I? I'm out, guys. I'm out. I finally ran out of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. That's it. That's it for me. I'm out of stuff to talk about.
Alright. Sorry. You know, everybody fucking thinks I'm just a machine that can just pump out stuff to talk about. Well, guess what? Maybe we should think twice about it.
I forgot I was gonna. What did you guys think? I'm just made of topics to talk about? Is that what it is? Is that what it is going on here? Well, welcome to Guy in the Newsroom, everybody. And I have some breaking news for you guys. That's so fucking loud. You know what's great about these stock royalty-free sites is there's no volume ever on it. So I have to just listen to it this loud in my headphones. Oh wait, never mind. It's right here. Let's see if I can, there we go. Welcome to A Guy in His Newsroom, everybody. This just in, thanks for tuning us. It's Monday, January 9th, 2023, as we begin a new year in the newsroom, everybody. This just in the news, Prince Harry reveals Meghan Kate's fiery texts over wedding dresses. Yeah, apparently there was an argument over text. Can you believe that there was an argument, like, leading up to a stressful wedding? Can you believe that there was drama going on, leading up to someone's wedding? I bet you guys can't, especially the royal family being so evil and racist to actually argue with Saint Meghan. Now look, I don't understand why they didn't just bow down to Meghan right away and just let her do it, never say anything critical to her, like she deserves, like our goddess Meghan Markle deserves. But listen, listen, that's their prerogative. They're gonna do Meghan dirty like this. Yeah, I'm so sick of seeing any news about Prince Harry and Meghan. I mean, he just wrote a book, so it's just gonna keep going in the news cycle, and I don't know why it didn't just hit right away. Like, it keeps getting oh, here's one thing in the book. Oh, next week. Oh, here's another thing in the book. It's like, just dump it out all so I don't have to keep seeing it. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what the big deal is about. Like, there was an argument with Meghan and Kate. Who cares? Everybody is stressed out as fuck. Here's what I don't understand. Just weddings in general. Like, I just don't want to have one. I don't know. I just don't. Like, marriage is just pointless now. I guess for tax reasons people do it still. But just you're tied in with a fucking marriage thing, and it's hard to get divorced, and then yeah, I'm cynical, and I know everybody is like, oh, we're in love, we're never gonna have any problems, we're never gonna want a divorce. Well, you probably will, just statistically. there will be some point when you might have, and you have this fucking thing hanging over your head, like, oh, we signed this marriage license. Like, if I have to get divorced, then my life is going to be hell. Yeah, why doesn't every just fucking couple just sign that prenup? Like, it's bullshit. I don't know why I got into this. I just don't like weddings. I think they're stupid, and I get why we do it. It's a tradition. You want to, like, oh, I'm going to get married and, have a wedding, but, like, just everybody's stressed out. It's a nightmare to plan. Like, yeah, there's going to be arguments like this, not just the royal family. Everybody has arguments. And this is a misleading article. It's not like he posted the literal texts that were sent, and it looks like they have a screenshot here, like, oh, he's showing the actual. It's like, no, we're still taking him just at his word. Like, they're not saying anything. I mean, look, you can, not like the royal family, but they're really not saying anything. I mean, they're just putting up with this shit constantly. I mean, I don't, like, speaking of uptight, like, yeah, I don't think I'd be able to live there either. Like, just everything is, like, so uptight in the royal family. Like, so I get why they would, like, want to leave. Like, although, like, I don't know. Prince Harry is messed up. Like, you can tell he is mentally messed up. Like, his dad was an asshole. Prince Charles is just so unlikable, though. Like, they're talking about, like, Kate argued with Meghan. I mean, who cares? It's just so stupid. Like, I think it's unfair to William and Kate that this keeps happening. Like, I mean, I'm not like, I don't worship them at all. I don't care about them. But they just kind of keep taking this, and they're not really allowed to. I don't think they're allowed to really speak up, and they probably don't want to, because it's just going to be constantly going back and forth, because all Prince Harry does now is just trash, like, talk about his family. I mean, and now he has a book, so you're like, all right, it's his memoir, like, maybe he'll get out of the system. I don't see that happening. And they really do strike me as, like, just so like, full of themselves. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you can really be that on their side, like, if there is a side to take. Like, they just constantly talk. Like, just shut up, man. Like, just shut the fuck. Like, none of this. I haven't read anything that sounds that bad. I mean, I really haven't heard anything. They said in that Oprah interview, somebody was wondering what the baby's shade of color would be. Like, how is that even that bad? Like, I wonder what he's going to look like, because Meghan's part black. Like, they turned it into a race thing, and it's like, that's just something somebody would wonder. Like, an older person would just probably just say that, and not in a. How is it racist? It is if you take it that way, like, it is if they said, I don't want this baby, this can be a little dark for me. Like, then, yeah, but, like, you already know, like, Meghan's, like, barely black. Like, I didn't even know she was black until they said it in the media. Like, I would have thought maybe she's part something else. Like, I don't even really see, like, now I know she is, because that's all they ever talk about. But, like, I just don't think that was even necessarily a racist thing to say. Like, just to go, I wonder what it's going to look. It's always funny to me when people say it about babies. It is going to look like this, I wonder what it is going to. It's just, like, weird. Although, I guess if you have a baby, you don't know what the gender is yet. Speaking of that, hold on. More in the newsroom, guys. I found this out about the whole this just in. The guy in the newsroom. I got another story here. 5 reasons. Hold on. Now, this hopefully is true, because I looked at it and took it as true. So I hope it's not just like a clickbaity, a fake. Here we go, guys. Wait, hold on. Post-millennial. Okay, that's usually. Oops. The post-millennial is kind of a not woke news source. I wouldn't even say it's right wing or anything. It's just okay. Switzerland rejects attempt to add third gender to official documents. Okay, so that's a different title than the one I saw. So they are not adding a third gender because, and you know what? It says here, okay, I don't, man, everything is just so clickbait now. Everything is like not exactly the story. Everything. Any screenshot you see online, don't even believe it unless you read the whole thing. All right, let's see here. DC Inquirer, never heard of that either. It keeps saying this. Switzerland rejects gender ideology in new ruling, but really, hold on. The Swiss Federal Council said the binary gender model is still strongly anchored in Swiss society. And so they are not adding any, right now, they are not adding any other genders in their official government. Like, I don't know, man. I don't, this is a really touchy subject with most people, probably. Even though it's really not. Like, scientifically, it's not. But, like, with everybody in the U.S., this is not, like, something... You'd be shocked if... Like, people might have protested this. That Switzerland did this, and they're not, you know... Canada's crazy with this shit. I mean, Canada's crazy. Okay, I agree with Austria here. It says... In 2018, Austria ruled that people must be allowed to register as a sex other than male and female if they choose, but this required no change to existing laws. So that's kind of what I think should happen. But, you know, look, this is just like another example of our culture war shit going on, and it's not in the U.S., which is interesting. It's always interesting to me to see how the other countries are dealing with this stuff. Because it seems like the U.S. is the leader on this woke stuff, like, and then it went over to other places. But I might be wrong. I mean, Canada was always crazy, like, progressive. Like, I'm not even going to say progressive. That's, like, not what it is to me. Like, oh, we're progressing? No, we're not if we're... Like, here's the thing. I mean, look. Like, you can say you're whatever gender. Okay, that's just how I feel. You can say you're whatever gender if you want. You can say you're going to live as this whatever gender. But making everyone and then making it an official, like, government thing, I just don't think we should do that. Like, and, you know, everybody confuses gender with sex, and that's not the same thing. And the U.S. is really huge on this, like, and Britain, too, because of the whole JK Rowling thing. I'm going to look that up, too. Because there's some game, I guess. There's some new Harry Potter related game that is now having backlash of people. Look at this ridiculous shit. Hogwarts Legacy, it's called. I guess it's a new game. I don't care about Harry Potter like everyone else does. I didn't grow up reading it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know much about it. God. And people were upset. People were upset because it's related to Harry Potter. Now everything Harry Potter, like, because JK Rowling was called a TERF or whatever, now they're going to be mad at people that play this game. I mean, another example of just the whole culture war stuff going on. And I don't know, we should just rename it from culture war to, like, I don't know, just ending of America or something, because I've been really, Hogwarts Legacy, number 4 pre-orders on Steam, which is a PC, game, thing you can buy games on a PC. Number 4, Hogwarts Legacy. No, it's no signs it's slowing down. Unbelievable. The backlash against series creator JK Rowling's transphobic behavior. Now, I didn't read JK Rowling's huge essay she put out, and that's what got people upset at her. But pretty much everybody is against that male swimmer that won all those awards, as a trans woman, against women. He was bottom ranked, and then he became a quote unquote woman, and then wins. And most people are against that. Even big prominent people are saying this isn't a good idea. So why is J.K. Rowling still such a bad thing to talk up, be associated and to platform? I don't want to platform her, okay? And by the way, that's probably the main reason I don't like Prince Harry and Meghan, because they're into this woke shit. They would be anti-J.K. Rowling. There's no question. And when that whole thing happened, I think I probably talked about this on the podcast. Everybody had to say trans women are women. Okay, that's the problem with this whole gender versus sex stuff. Sex means male or female, biological, what you're born as. Gender is just how you feel about it, I guess. I read this whole book by somebody that and I mean, if I Google it, it'll be confusing. Gender versus sex, it'll be a bunch of shit. Ugh, man. But every site now would have a different definition. I mean, people use the terms interchangeably, but it's incorrect. Sex is a physical differences. And you can only be male, female, or maybe intersex, which is when you're born with a hermaphrodite, used to call them. I don't know why that's offensive either now. Hermaphrodite. I don't think you can say that anymore. And that's called the natal sex. That's the biological fact. Gender is how you identify, and that's what the problem is. When you're a trans woman, it's a gender. You can't change your sex. You can have that reassignment stuff. It still doesn't change really the physical and the biological stuff. I know that's hate speech now, but and you can't even. Well, you used to not be able to even put that on Twitter. Seriously, you would get and there's a million, actually infinite amount of genders. There's an infinite number because it's all what you think about, it's what you identify as. You can identify as anything. I mean, you can just, and that's the whole, this whole culture. That's the end. Honestly, I just think that's what's going to be the end of Western society, at least. If not in the world, but I keep thinking of, the fall of Rome, and I'm looking up, how did this fall? What happened? I've been very cynical and negative about it, this whole, for a while. Since all this woke stuff has happened, I've really been I don't think we're recovering from this, because it doesn't obey fact. It doesn't recognize actual fact, and it's whatever in the moment that you think at that time. So tomorrow you could be canceled for something that you said yesterday. You could say something 1 hour, and then an hour later, society or Twitter thinks something different about that, and then you're canceled for that. So that is why I thought for a while, there's just no way we're gonna survive, period. And everybody kept, a lot of people do, I even said, oh, we're gonna have civil war again. It's not even really that. It's it's not civil war was fought on one argument, wasn't it? Slavery was one argument. There might have been other arguments in there, I think, but everybody kind of views it as just the slavery, the North versus the South, slavery, whatever. That was the main thing. But there's so much shit with woke that it's not even one thing. It's not like Black Lives Matter was the one argument, And stuff changes so quickly now. I don't even think there could be Like, yeah, we'll just keep having those like George Floyd summer of 2020 type things happening. Because like that was a reaction to one incident, and then there was all the protests for the Roe v. Wade stuff. I don't know what's gonna happen. I just think since I've been looking at this Fall of Rome stuff, I'm a little bit more optimistic, like, because they did just make a new thing. Like, they did, like, have a revolution and just then. And that could happen, I'm thinking. Like, we could just get rid of this whole bullshit. Like, we could just go back to, reason again. I mean, we could just, like, look, a lot of people that are, like, criticizing all this stuff, they're not anti-trans, and that's what people kind of smear them as. Like, if you say you don't want the government to mandate, like, that if a guy says they're a woman, then they get put in a swimming team, or that there's a lot of it in prisons now. Like, a guy will just go to the female prison and have, like, nothing done. Like, he didn't even have the surgery, had nothing. And even if you do have the surgery or take hormones, I mean, you still biologically, which is what this whole shit's about. Like, the JK Rowling thing was I think it was about, it started with sports, The JK Rowling controversy. See, a lot of people, like, you can't even look shit up without getting a slanted article, too. Ralph Fiennes defended JK Rowling. Yeah, some bigger name actors did defend her. I mean, and they are, like, even though they're famous, like, Ralph Fiennes said, "I can't understand the vitriol," and I agree. Says backlash is disturbing. I can understand the heat of an argument, but I find this accusation and the need to condemn it irrationally. I agree. I mean, that's where we are. And I'm like, just like, I'm at the point I'm not even upset anymore. I'm just like, there's another thing, Like, that's really what you gotta be to be like a healthy. There we go. There's another. There's another thing. People are upset at. There's another there's another mob. She just says, like, people who menstruate. She basically just said men can't technically menstruate, and that's what. And then she made a lengthy essay. That's what I remember. So she tried to explain herself, and that obviously did not. You know why? Because these people don't mean well. They don't. There was this other podcast where somebody had a backlash against them for a documentary, and she said, like, at first she kept trying to, like, explain. It was about she did a documentary about I don't know, like, terrorists that were going to this Reformation camp to see if they could get reformed. And for some reason it was called, like, I mean, it just was, there was a backlash for, like, no reason at all. And then eventually some people started to say, wait, why is there a backlash? And now it's kind of turning around for her. But, like, she said, at first she was trying to explain herself and say, hey, just watch the movie. But, like, none of them would. And then she realized, okay, these people actually, like, it's in bad faith. They're taking you purposely the worst way. And that's what's going on. That's been going on for a while. Like, people don't want to hear her out. Like, JK Rowling, anybody like that, people don't, like, they purposely don't read her essay. They don't, and they condemn anyone who would read that and would take her argument at face value and consider it. Once a backlash starts against someone, you aren't allowed to, like, have any other opinion except condemn the person. Like, that's it. And a lot of people, I just don't think, there's a lot of people that I think aren't bad people that just assume she's transphobic now because of that. They don't even know that she just was saying, like, We're not like we know men literally can't menstruate. Like, yeah, a woman who is a trans man is still biologically a woman, but is identifying as a man. We're not allowed to even say like trans people are identifying as like they made like Daniel Radcliffe and all these people, they said trans women are women, and they literally wanted people to say, and I don't think even the people saying this realize, but no, you literally now have to say trans women are biological women. Like, that's what they want you to say. And that's like, doesn't, that literally isn't true. It's not like, it's just not scientifically true. I mean, you can identify as whatever you want, but what you were born as is not going to change. I mean, you can alter yourself, but that's just not going to change. And you aren't allowed to even talk about identifying versus being a biological whatever now. See what? Oh my God, see what I mean? Radcliffe said, "Listen, I'm not fighting with JK Rowling. Transgender women are women. Any statement to the contrary, I don't know how to do. Any statement to the contrary erases the identity and dignity of transgender people and goes against all advice given up. Oh my God, who have far more expertise on this subject than Joe or I. See, there's the whole argument. Are you a doctor? Then you can have an opinion."
To all the people who now feel that their experience of these books has been tarnished or diminished, I'm deeply sorry for the pain these comments has caused you. I really hope that you don't entirely lose what was valuable in these stories to you.
Because then no one would watch those movies that you were in, and your whole career was based off being successful. I don't like. He was trying to play it safe there a little bit and being. I'm not talking about JK here. This is about
trans women are literally women, period. And then Emma Watson said, trans people are who they say they are and deserve to live their lives without being questioned.
Listen, like, no one's saying you can't just identify. Like, this is not even like. See, they're not getting into the nuance here because they probably know that there isn't any nuance to be had. Like, you can't even say that they're identifying. They literally mean, when they ask you to say, because that's what happened, they demanded Daniel Radcliffe say trans women are women. And he gave in. I know that's what happened. Or he was told by somebody else, you got to say this or something like that. Trans men are men. Trans women are women. That's not like, you can identify as whatever. That doesn't mean you magically, like, you erase all of biology. You just magically, scientifically are now a woman. And you're not allowed to even say either, like, that's what she was saying. Why, like, they shouldn't even chimed in, I guess, obviously because of the backlash. That's why they chimed in. But I wouldn't have even said anything. I mean, I know all their fans probably went after every actor and went, say it.
Did you say it? Did you say it yet? Hello? Hello? Guy who played, Ginger Guy in Harry Potter. Hello? You gonna say it? Hello? You're gonna get canceled, you fucking piece of shit. You wanna get canceled? You better say it.
Okay, so, like, you guys, like, maybe people should realize, like, what side is the angry mob always on? When is the angry mob demanding and they're from the Christian people? When are they making demands like that? No, it's always woke people. Always the woke mobs doing that. When is it just regular family people doing that? When are they going, you better do this? Unbelievable, man. And then, like, the next movie, the Fantastic Beasts film, I don't know if we're going to go see that. Yeah, people still go do it. Like, look what happened to Chick-fil-A. They got, quote unquote canceled. Nobody thinks about it anymore. They just go eat it. Nobody even thinks about it. I mean, maybe they do in the back of their head, but yeah, nobody cares. I mean, it's just food. I mean, unbelievable, dude. I don't know who this guy is. Oh, God. This guy who played some Harry's mean cousin, why is anyone asking for his opinion? Harry Melling played Harry's mean cousin in the movies, gave a pretty balanced answer to the debate and said,
I can only speak for myself, and what I feel to me is very simple. And that is, transgender women are women, and transgender men are men. Every single person has the right to choose who they are and to identify themselves as what's true to themselves.
Okay, know what? That's not what she said. She didn't say you can't identify. Now, it doesn't matter what JK put in that essay because they're not going to read it. They purposely are. You can't even consider that she's right. Look, he's trying to, and then he goes like, he's trying to kind of stay in the middle here. He added,
I don't want to join the debate of pointing fingers and saying, that's right, that's wrong, because I don't think I'm the correct spokesperson for that. But I do believe that everybody has the right to choose. Yep, and so does everyone.
Most people, even Christian people, would say, yeah, identify as whatever you want. Except, the whole... But then that's the thing, with the government deciding, okay, now we're going to let men go in the women's bathroom if they identify. No one's checking if somebody is identifying. If there's no card, there's no transgender membership card. So any guy can just say, I feel like a woman right now, and I just walk in the bathroom. Or I just go to the women's prison. I feel like I'm identifying because I feel like gaming the system. I think I mentioned before, like, a lot of this, it's just people are going to, like, criminals in prison are just going to game the system and go, okay, if I say I'm a woman, I can just go to the women's prison. All right, I'm just going to say that. Rowling first angered the trans community in 2020 when she said, gender identity, she said, if sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the reality of women globally is erased. Yeah. And I don't understand how that, like, again, I talked about this too before, like, the whole identifying as a black person did not work at all. Rachel Dolezal did not work at all. You cannot say you're a different race. Now, why? I don't know. I just don't know why. Like, I really wish I knew why that it was okay. It's been always okay to identify as a different, as a woman or a man, and you're not. But for some reason, you can't. And, women had women's rights they fought for. They had a lot of... now, here's the thing, though. I guess you couldn't really go... It wouldn't be as accepted to say, I'm a white guy, but now I'm a black woman. Has anyone tried to do that? I'm a white cis male, but I actually I'm identifying as a black woman who is... I don't think that's been tried yet. Now, should that be? I mean, you can't do that. I mean, that would get mocked still, I think. But only the black part. Like, everybody would be like, look, if you're a woman, I applaud that. And I'm here for you. All this bullshit on social media people say. I'm here for you.
I am here for you, 100%, sister. I'm here for you. I love this for you. I'm here for you.
God, such bullshit. And nobody is. Most people don't stand by you, ever. I mean, it's rare to have people stand, like, when you're going through something. It's rare to have anybody give a shit still. Like, don't act like you're there for somebody just because you posted on a comment on someone's post. I am here for you. It's unbelievable. Just like, okay, now we have to say trans women are women. Ralph Fiennes didn't. He's the only one. It does erase gay people. It does erase lesbians. I mean, they've had problems with, lesbians are getting erased by trans guys are just saying they're a trans woman and then they're a lesbian. Why is that okay to erase gay people and lesbians, but you still can't, like, being a trans race isn't a thing. You just can't do that. You know what? Everybody who just, like, joins this any outrage bandwagon from now on, I mean, like all these actors that said, like, trans women are women. I'm disappointed in JK Rowling. Everybody that jumps on that bandwagon of, like, just piling on someone, you know what? Just everybody should start saying, like, hey, congratulations, you're a coward. Congratulations for just jumping on the bandwagon. You really took a stand there, didn't you? I am very upset. Do not listen to her. No. For her you're not allowed to have those. You can't have an opinion that's, like, in the middle. Mother's Day is actually offensive. Like, you're not allowed to say that. I mean, look, I have issues with, like, people who are, like, extreme feminists or whatever, but, like, they are getting, women are getting erased. I mean, you literally can just say, as a guy, you can just say, tomorrow I can just say I am. There's no requirement of, so you're obviously on hormones. No. I mean, people can just, they can just go on a lesbian app and just be like, I'm a lesbian, I'm a trans woman now. Do nothing at all. I mean, guys will obviously try to pass. And most don't. I mean, most just don't pass. Like, no, I love this whole thing, too. Like, do you really want to die on this hill? Do you want to die on this hill, JK? Is this
really the hill you want to die on?
Everybody just jumped on the bandwagon calling her transphobic. They didn't even say, she didn't even say anything like that. It's fucking crazy. Just a hive, just a mob bullshit. Yeah, Macy Gray almost came out, said something. And then she went back on it. Macy Gray, July 5. When was it? I think she did go back on it. Unless she came back and swung, I mean, look, like, I just don't get it. I don't really get the whole, like, what the hell does that mean? Cancel culture is appropriation? Man, Lizzo's just, like, wanting to get in the news, I think. Here we go, guys. And we're back with another news story. Looks like Lizzo. Alright, I don't like that. And we're back with another loose news story. Alright, it sounds like entertainment news, guys. Back in the... Lizzo's back in the news, guys. Oh, fuck. You know what? This has a paywall, but I can still kind of read it. It's just grayed out. Lizzo tweeted, "Cancel culture is appropriation. Not everyone agreed with her point." This is now according to the Los Angeles Times. January 9th, today. Is it possible to cancel culture? Lizzo was trying to, at least the kind that she says is trendy. Cancel culture is appropriation, she tweeted. What? There was real outrage from truly marginalized people, and now it's become trendy, misused, and misdirected, she continued. I hope we can phase out of this and focus our outrage on... I mean, okay, I actually agree with that. Like... Yes, I hope we can phase out of this and focus on real problems. Alright, so you do... Because everybody knows it's not real problems. She just slipped the truth out by accident there. By saying, I hope we can focus our outrage on real problems. Look, I really am this whole Lizzo thing, like everybody is just acting like she's doing a revolution by just being big. And I don't even, sometimes I feel bad for Lizzo because does she realize she's being used? I mean, in a way, she's being used by like executives, by like woke fake corporations. Like, just because she's big, they're like, yes, Lizzo, we're empowering. Sorry, just popping all. You're not supposed to say peas when recording. You're not supposed to pop peas everywhere. Now, is she empowering bigger women? I don't know, guys. Well, you know what? Recently, and you may have heard of this, somebody tweeted that. Wait, hold on. What was it? Fat shaming is racist or something. What was it? Fat phobia is racist. Wow, they said more damaging than race. That's a really bold one. I mean, I just heard about this ridiculous tweet that people have tweeted, like that all of a sudden like obesity, like fat phobia is racist. But this is a new one. Fat shaming more damaging than racism, guys. I didn't know that. But I learned that's something new today. Fat shaming is now racist and more damaging than racist. Rosa Parks, sit your ass down because I ate a lot, so you better listen to my story because you go with your bus story. I don't give a shit. Fat shaming can have a much worse impact on mental and physical health than racism or sexism. Fuck off. I mean, fuck you, Mail Online, whoever that is. You gotta be kidding me. This is the problem with these new studies now, because all colleges are woke bullshit now. Don't send your kids to college, guys. Come on, don't do it. They're now doing studies that are all woke ideology bullshit now. Like, it used to be like, oh, it's from a medical journal. Now it's like, yeah, it's from a medical journal. It's a woke bullshit thing. That's totally like, listen, that's totally subjective to say that it's worse than racism. Like, okay, you're a fat person who got made fun of. Are you telling me that's worse than, you know, the KKK going after somebody and burning a cross on his lawn in the 50s or whatever? I mean, the racial origins of fat stigma, guys, from CBS News.
A huge part of my acceptance is using the word fat, taking a weapon that has been used against me and like putting it on the mantle behind me.
And the nose ring right away, guys.
Celebrate individuals.
Okay, so they call themselves fat as I'm gonna empower myself. Okay, you just shamed yourself then. What? I don't understand this because, like, to me, you are being a racist if you say that it's racist because you're saying then that black people are more obese. Now, I don't know the medical facts around that. I know, like, soul food is not healthy. I mean, it's just not. Yeah, see, but yeah, colonists believed that black people were more inherently obese, had more venereal diseases because they lacked self-control. So you're agreeing with them then if you're saying that. If you're saying that race is obesity, fat phobia is racist. Okay, you thinking someone's fat means you're racist. I mean, just fuck off. I mean, we can. Oh God, Look, you can hate this, but this is where society's headed, guys.
This is all
Society's headed.
Who is this? Strings. Sabrina Strings. Oh, brother, it's probably just whatever. We cannot deny the fact that fat phobia is rooted in anti-blackness. Today people say they don't intend to be anti-black, and yet they exist already. So whenever people start trafficking in fat phobia, pretty interesting word to use there, they are inherently picking up on these forms of... Okay, what?
This is another reason that, like, this woke talk is, like, religious and mystical. Like, all these terms they use, like, it's rooted in anti-blackness. When people talk about being fat, they don't, like, they are inherently picking up on these forms of oppression. I mean, they just, like, the oppression is just inherently just hidden in there, like mystical magic. It's just in there. And they traffic in fat phobia. They always, like, always use these radical terms like trafficking in fat phobia. Dog whistles of racism. Trafficking and racism and trafficking. You know who doesn't complain about all this stuff, guys? You know what group is never mentioned, ever? You know what marginalized group is never talked about in woke communities or any other community?
Ugly people. Ugly people, we don't get a say. We don't get to come to the table.
God, I hate that when they say fucking... That's another woke phrase, like, I need a seat at the table. I never got a seat at the table. There's just a figurative table that everybody sits at and plots at, and they don't get a seat at that table. When I was
grown up as an ugly,
Did anybody else point that out? Let me see here. Talk about ugly people. Woke people never defend ugly people. It's so fucking dumb. Woke people are mentally exhausting to me. Yeah, I agree with this. I mean, there's a podcast I listen to called Disaffected. The guy talks about how similar it is to, like, narcissistic people. That is what it is. Like, that whole mob mentality that went after JK Rowling, they're all narcissistic, fucking black and white, like, you either agree with me or you're an evil, like, you should die, literally. They would applaud her death. I mean, I'm not even joking. A lot of people would have applauded if she died for some reason. Yeah, I mean, no, they don't talk about ugly people. Because a lot of the woke people are ugly. I mean, it doesn't happen, you know? Stop telling me I'm ugly. Stop telling me I'm beautiful. I'm ugly. It's fine. My appearance doesn't define me. That's very interesting. And I can't read it. Well, I can't read it, ugly person. Sorry. Nobody fucking ever defends them. No one talks about ugly people. They're called creepy just by looking at you. I forget who said that. A lot of people say, like, and it's true. It's just 100% true. An ugly person staring at you is creepy. But if it was like a hot person, you'd be, like, flattered. Usually, that's the case. I mean, yeah, if a beautiful woman... I don't know if it's the case. Is that the case with girls? I think they would be way less upset about it. If, like, a guy that they thought was, like, hot, like, I don't know. I mean, you know, staring could still be creepy, though, to me. Hits on you. If an ugly guy or an ugly person hits on you, you will think of it as creepy. Especially a guy. Ugly guys, I think, have it a lot worse. Well, maybe it's pretty equal. I don't know. Maybe that's where we are totally equal. Women, ugly men. No, I don't know. Huh. But that's where the marginalized groups, like, they just don't get represented. We need more inclusion of ugly, hideous, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of ugly, fucking. I don't know. Like, how am I gonna find? Who's gonna call him? I mean, who's gonna call themselves ugly? Yeah, these are all manipulated images. All right. Like, who's gonna represent? Holy fuck! No way. It can't be real. It looks so fake. No way. Another paywall. I don't know if I believe that's real, but let's see here. Let's see what. Well, let's just pretend these are real and not altered, photoshopped images. Like, who's gonna be inclusioning this person? You know, like, they never get represented. They never get a DEI group put together for them. Oh, look at this guy. What? Like, why did this guy need some, platforming? You know who they did that with, though? That girl that, like, was with that crypto guy recently. Fuck, I don't know her name. What was it called? Sam Bankman. FTX, that's what it was called. FTX. He had like a... Oh, I guess there's other companies called that. Caroline Ellison, I guess his girlfriend or somebody that worked there, kind of got ugly shamed a little bit because she was not hot or whatever, like just nerdy looking. I don't even want to be like... I always felt bad. Like, I feel like I'm the only one that feels bad for ugly people that are called, like... They just kind of always get, like, there's no, like, outrage over, like, don't call them ugly or, like, mock their appearance. Like, people don't, like, obviously... God, why wouldn't it just come up when I type the fucking... But, like, just, I mean... She's a math whiz trader and the shadowy figure and a devout Harry fan. And she apologized. Wow. Yeah, they're just gonna be fine. I mean, all those, like, politicians, like, invested in him, they're not gonna be that fucked. I mean, he'll just go to jail, but she was reportedly romantically involved with Sam Bankman-Fried, who just made up everything. I mean, yeah, crypto is kind of made up, like, to me. It just seems fake. Like, there's no physical backing up of it. It's just whatever is in the air, I just don't get how anyone, like, buys it or just, I don't know. It's crazy, dude. Don't get me started on my stocks. My portfolio is just growing. Just growing, dude. My
portfolio is getting diversified as we speak. Like, I got guys working on it 24/7, man. My portfolio, make sure you get diversified in your portfolio and inclusion. You got a diverse, inclusive portfolio. Buy some stocks that are very diverse ethnically and ethically. And go ahead and do that, guys. This is when I don't know how to end. I just make noise,